Fenrir. The salty, heavy wind crashes against you as the ship drifts into the harbour. The scent of brine thick in your nose. The sky above is a smothering canvas of rolling storm clouds, casting deep shadows over the town of Wavecrest. Even from the deck, you can see the warped wooden buildings, their walls bent and battered by time and the sea air. The distant cries of gulls mixed with the murmur of dock workers, smugglers, and weary-eyed sailors exchanging coin and cargo. Beneath the town's ceaseless activity, something else lingers. A presence unseen, a tension in the air, and an unspoken rule not to ask the wrong questions. The ship's dock, the planks slamming down against the pier. As you step onto the cobbled streets, your boots dampen from the lingering ocean mist. A sense of deja vu creeps in your mind, like this place has been waiting for you. Then you see it. Amongst the scattered crates being unloaded from a nearby ship, one symbol stands out. A woven black spiral, burnt into the wood. It is identical to the one in your mentor's journal, the same mark tied to the smuggling operation in this very town. The journal's pages whisper to the past. Wavecrest, a town of shifting tides, where even the shadows whisper secrets. The lighthouse was never just a beacon, it was a gate, a lockbox holding something stolen long ago. If I vanish, follow the trail of the black spiral. The past was buried here, but shadows never truly fade. Your hands tighten around the worn leather of the book. This is the place. But you are not the only one watching. From across the docks, you catch a flicker of movement, a hooded figure, lingering a moment too long before melting into the crowd. Eyes follow you from the alleyways, assessing, questioning, deciding. The air is thick with tension. What would you like to do, Fenrir?
Can I make perception and see if I can point out where this guy's headed to?
Cool. You roll perception. So if we have a look here, see what your perception is. So, +1. So roll a d20 and add one to the dice.
7.
So, as you sort of like gather your bearings on the cobbled streets of Wavecrest, you see this hooded figure slink in between the crowd, and you lose sight of them quite quickly. You're still standing in the docks where you've noticed these crates, clearly trade goods, exotic goods from all across the earth. And yeah, this particular crate with the insignia of the black sigil on it is definitely bringing memories.
Okay. Am I able to go closer to this sigil? And if there is people there, can I ask questions?
Yeah, so you walk over to the crates. You can see like dock hands, sort of like putting stuff to and from ships.
Yeah.
You can see there's a gentleman there, say middle-aged human, dark hair, scraggly beard, glasses, and he's just like sort of going through like a notepad, sort of checking things off. And you walk over. So he looks up. He goes, "Oh, sorry there, mate. Is there anything I can do for you?"
I would like to ask a few questions.
Well, as you can see, I'm on quite a tight ship here. I've got to make sure all these crates are going on this ship. I've got to get it done in the next couple of hours. So, whatever questions you're asking, if it could be quick, that'd be great.
No worries. I just wanted to know if all this stuff is getting sold, or if you already sold this stuff.
Roll a persuasion.
It like landed kind of on the side. It's either a 1 or a 7.
If it rolled cocked, re-roll.
Ooh. 7. So again,
A 6. He kind of like squints at you. You're kind of like, you're a bit nosy. And he goes, they were shipments from here. Like I say, I'm the guy that ticks everything off. Don't imagine they've been here too long. Probably in the warehouse for a couple of days. But same goods as always.
That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
And he sort of like goes back down to his note, continues checking shit off.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, you sort of like, it allows you to like sort of peruse and have a look at the crates, but you don't see anything too of note. In the distance, you see a big bustling tavern. Adorned on the front of it is a seagull sort of laying down next to a pint of ale. And you see a sign, you've seen the name underneath it called the Salty Seagull.
Alright. I head to the tavern. And my objective is to find out more about the town. Maybe if there's any nuisance that happens around the town, if it's any danger.
Okay. The Salty Seagull Tavern is alive with noise and tension. Laughter rings out between clinking mugs, and there's an edge to it. A forced camaraderie, a place where alliances shift like the tides. The scent of spilled ale, fish, and damp leather clings to the air. As you step inside, conversations die down. Eyes linger. There is no warmth welcome here, only assessment. At the table near the back, a man sits alone, his weathered face partially lit by the glow of an oil lantern. His eyes flick up as you enter, as if he's been expecting you. What would you like to do?
I would like to go to the bar and get my nice glass of the best ale they have.
Warmth inside is immediate, a stark contrast to the cold tension of the town outside. He walks over to the bar and he notices a gruff man, weathered by the ages of living in this town. The best word to describe in his eyes is journey. You can tell that he's a seasoned person of the seas, even without saying anything. The best? Huh? Ain't many ask for that. Most just take what keeps the thirst away. He grabs a dusty green bottle from the top shelf, pouring a dark amber liquid into a heavy wooden tankard. The scent is strong, spiced, deep, carrying an old world burn. Voltari Storm Brew. Goes down smooth, kicks like a warhorse. He says it's 5 silvers.
I dash the 5 silvers to the bartender and I say, "Thank you, my man. I am feeling a bit eerie in this tavern. Is it me, or is this just how it really is with new people coming in?"
And he looks at you and he kind of goes, "Not many people come round these parts, as you can tell. You know, it gets rough. A lot of floods, and we don't want much from nothing, from anyone, just to trade. So, and to be honest with you, mate, not many people have seen you lot in a long time." And he kind of gestures to like your mane, like you being a very specific breed of Laveran.
Yeah.
We see the shifting Shan Laverans all the time. They're always coming overseas. But yeah, not many Shadowfare about anymore.
Right, okay. Well, I'm here to find out some information, and I wanted to know if you know anything about, how can I put this? Any of my kind, if you've ever seen them here before, or like if you know of anybody. You say that it's been a long time, so if you've forgotten, no worries.
The Voltari storm route burns down Fenrir's throat. The bartender watches, nodding approvingly before wiping down the counter with an old rag. He smirks. Not bad. Most people who order that sip it slow or end up on the floor. His eyes, sharp, weathered, untrusting, linger at you for a moment before gesturing to sit down. You didn't come here for the ale, did you?
No, not really, man.
He smirks again, leans back in his chair. He goes, Shadowlord of Verlaveren. Now, there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Most folk don't know your kind exist. And that's not an accident. That's erasure. The candle flickers between them, casting long shadows across the table. Stories say the Shadow Verlaveren were different from the rest. Not just warriors. Keepers of something ancient. But then one day, they were gone. Their name, their history vanished. Like they never were. He takes a sip of ale, his fingers tapping against the side of his mug. But I've seen things. Things that don't stay buried. Things that will still move in the dark.
Right, okay. I understand. No, I've been on this mission to find out information about my ancestry and the rest of my kind, if there's any out there. And I've had so much trouble. The only clue that I could find was this town. And I found some clues, but I don't really understand it. Could you help me?
For a moment, Merrick says nothing. The worn wooden table between you creaks as he shifts his weight, his fingers still idly tracing the rim of his tankard. The tavern's noise, the laughter, the clinking of mugs, the whispers, fades into a dull hum in the background. His eyes flicker toward you again, measuring your words. You're not the first to ask. The weight of his words settle between you two. A pause, a slow exhale, a ghost of something that looks like regret. His voice dropping lower. You might be the last. Fenrir feels something shift in the air. A tension. Old and heavy. Like a wound never healed. You think you're the only one who searched. I've seen others like you. Shadowfur, quiet, haunted. They come here chasing ghosts. He looks around, scanning the room, as if checking for listening ears before continuing. Wavecrest is a place of shifting tides. Things get lost here. People get lost here. And your kind, the ones that came before you, they were looking for the same thing. He stops, staring in his ale for a long moment before shaking his head. But they never left. Fenrir's heart beats a little harder.
I want to know more. I know it's a lot to ask, but if you could tell me, I'll give you some coin. This town's all about trade, so let's work something out.
Roll a persuasion.
Yeah. 18.
Okay. Merrick smirks. His gaze flickers toward the pouch at your hip. He tilts his tankard slightly, as if weighing your words. 15 gold, and I'll tell you everything I know. Or you could try...
Can I try and persuade him?
Yeah, you could try persuade him again. See if he'll lower the price.
I say 10 gold and you got yourself a deal.
Roll a persuasion then.
8.
He kind of looks at you in the eyes and he goes,
Some lives aren't worth that much. I can part with 15. For 15. Okay. I agree, I guess. If this information helps me, then it was worth the coins.
Merrick nods slowly, scooping up the gold and weighing the coins in his palm before tucking them in his coat. Fair deal. Let's hope you still think it's worth it when I'm done. He leans forward, resting his elbows on the table, his voice low and serious. Your kind? They were wiped out from history, not by time, not by war, but by design. His eyes flicker toward the bar, watching for eavesdroppers. There were others before you. Shadow fur, quiet, wary. They came looking for the same answers you are now. Most of them, they ended up gone, vanished. Just like your people did. He leans in slightly. Every time a shadow fur passes through, the same thing followed them. He drums his fingers against the wooden table once more, twice, then stops. The black spiral. The tavern feels smaller, the shadows a little darker. This was no coincidence. I don't think you're chasing ghosts. I think someone made damn sure your people disappeared. And I think the black spiral, whoever they are, had something to do with it. He takes another sip of ale. And here's the part you'll really want to hear. He sets down his mug and leans close. I know where your next step is. What do you say?
Okay, I'm ready to listen. But first, pour me a glass of just your regular ale. I'd like to roll a perception to look around the tavern just to make sure if anybody's being sneaky or listening or they're watching.
Okay. Alright. Roll a perception, mate. Plus your wisdom. Are you wise? How wise are you? So have a quick looky. Plus 1. Yeah. What was it?
12.
13. Nice. Merrick smirks, nods, signaling the bartender. A smart man knows when to keep his throat wet and his back watched. The bartender grabs a wooden tankard and fills up with deep amber ale, sliding it across the table to you. It's not as strong as the Voltari Storm Brew, but it carries the familiar weight of a sailor's drink, cheap, rough, and made to last. As you take your drink, Merrick casually scans the room. His gaze moves slowly, trained from the years of where to look. And then you do. His fingers taps idly against the side of the mug, but you can tell he's reading the room. For a moment, nothing seems out of place. The usual groups, dock workers, gamblers, and a few duty smugglers, are caught up in their own conversations. But then, just barely, you catch it. A figure at the far end of the tavern, cloaked, sitting too still. They aren't drinking, they aren't talking, they're listening. You've got ears. What do you want to do?
I would like to confront this figure with the drink that I just bought.
Fenrir picks up the tankard and rises from his seat, weaving through the dimly lit tavern with slow, measured steps. The figure doesn't move, doesn't shift, just watches. The candlelight flickers as Fenrir stops at the table, setting the drink down in front of them. The figure finally moves. A slow, deliberate tilt of the head. From beneath the hood, glowing amber eyes catch the light, feline and sharp. A voice, low and steady, drifts out. Generous of you. A hand emerges from the cloak, furred, dark, familiar. A shadow fur. Fenrir's breath stills. He wasn't expecting this. The figure's clawed fingers wrap around the tankard, but they do not drink it. Instead, they push the hood back just slightly, revealing the face of another Laverian. A scar cuts across their cheek, their fur a deep midnight black with faint silver streaks running along their jaw. They hold Fenrir's gaze. But I don't drink with strangers.
I was looking around the tavern and I see everybody's doing their own thing, but you seem mysterious. And I sure didn't know you as a Laverian. So I came to see what it was up. And wanted to know why you're by yourself and why you seem so mysterious.
Shadowfur Laverian tilts their head slightly, watching you with those piercing amber eyes. The glow in them is faint, but in the dim tavern light, it makes them stand out. Hunter's gaze, assessing, weighing. They smirk, just barely, before tapping a single claw against the tankard. Mysterious, or just careful. Their voice is quiet but firm, carrying a sharpness that suggests they don't waste words. They glance past you for a brief moment, not at Merrick, not at the bar, but toward the door. You're the one who walked in asking questions, Fenrir, the Shadow. They know your name. A pause. A moment of tension. The tavern's noise swirls around both of you, but in this moment, it might as well be silent. Finally, they lean in forward just slightly, keeping their voice low. I've been waiting for you. What would you like to do?
I want to ask him. So you know me, I guess. Okay. And you didn't think to speak to me or say anything. I kind of feel uneaseful, and I want to know how you know me. What have you been waiting for?
Shadowfur smirks, doesn't fade. But there's a flicker of something else now. Calculation, curiosity. Their claws tap lightly against the tankard again. A slow, rhythmic sound. Uneasily. They lean back slightly, folding their arms. For the first time, their expression softens just a little. Good. That means you're paying attention. They glance around the tavern once more before exhaling through their nose. I knew you'd come here eventually, just wasn't sure when. Their eyes glowing, locked onto yours. You and I, we're both chasing ghosts, Fenrir. The difference is, they shift, finally lifting the drink you gave them. I know what's waiting at the end of the road. The tension thickens. They know something. The question is, why haven't they told you yet? What do you do?
You say you know me. You've been waiting. And you know why I'm here. So, why don't we partner up? I got some information, and I think we could help each other out. If you know the place, we can go there. Anytime?
The shadow fur Laverian tilts their head slightly, their eyes flickering with something unreadable. For a moment, they don't speak. They simply watch you, gauging your words, measuring your intent. Then they smirk, but there's no humor in it. That's the problem, Fenrir. Finally, they lift the tankard, taking a slow sip before setting it down with a quiet thud. We can't just go there. Their voice is lower now, quieter. Not out of secrecy, out of cautious. They lean forward slightly, claws tracing against the grain of the wood on the table. The place you're looking for, the place I know, it's not just some ruin. It's not just some forgotten temple or abandoned hideout. Their eyes flicker toward the door again, then back to you. It's alive. The words linger in the air. The weight behind them isn't just something metaphorical. There's something real, something dangerous about this place that they're talking about. Finally, they exhale, rolling their shoulders. But if you're still set on going, we'll need to move carefully. Because if you're not ready, it won't just be the past waiting for you there. What would you do?
I like to gather myself, and I would like to say I'm ready for any mission that comes to, that it has to come. I am ready to find out more information about my past and the Laverian. Let's wait till dark, and we can head off. Let me get some supplies, and I'll be ready.
The shadow fur Laverian watches you for a moment, their glowing amber eyes locked onto yours, searching for any sign of hesitation. They find none. Slowly, they nod. Good. They lift their tankard, finishing the last of their drink before setting it down with a deliberate finality. Get what you need. When the sun is gone, meet me at the cliffs past the docks. There's a path the smugglers use. It will take us where we need to go. They stand up, pulling their hood back on, obscuring their face once more. Before turning, they pause, lowering their voice, just only for you to hear. Fenrir, once we step into this, there's no turning back. You say you're ready. They glance toward the tavern door and back to you. I hope you are. With that, they melt into the crowd, disappearing into shifting bodies of the tavern like they were never there at all. Fenrir now has time to prepare if nightfall approaches. And with that, I'll see you in the next episode of You Roll.
Peace.